Hey everybody, Linus here. Today we're talking about the CPU, the brain of your computer. It's a tiny chip that does a ton of work. The CPU processes everything your computer does. From typing to gaming, it's all thanks to the CPU. Without it, your computer would just be a very expensive paperweight. The CPU might seem complicated, but it's actually pretty simple once you understand the basics. So, let's break it down and see what makes this little chip so powerful. First up, we have the control unit. Think of it like a traffic cop directing the flow of data within the CPU. It tells other components what to do and when to do it. Just like a traffic cop keeps traffic moving smoothly, the control unit ensures everything runs smoothly inside the CPU. This is super important because without the control unit, everything would be a chaotic mess. Next, we have the ALU, or Arithmetic Logic Unit. As the name suggests, this is where the CPU does all its math. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, you name it, the ALU handles it all. It's also responsible for logical operations like comparing two numbers to see if they're equal. The ALU is like the CPU's calculator, crunching numbers and making those important calculations. Now let's talk about registers. These are like tiny storage units within the CPU that hold data that needs to be accessed quickly. Think of them as the CPU's short-term memory. They hold the data that the CPU is currently working on, allowing for super-fast access. Without registers, the CPU would have to constantly access the main memory, which would slow things down considerably. Section 5. Fetching instructions, getting ready to work. So, how does the CPU actually do all this amazing stuff? It all starts with fetching instructions from the computer's memory. These instructions are basically a set of commands that tell the CPU what to do. The control unit fetches these instructions one at a time. Think of it like reading a recipe book. The CPU reads each instruction carefully before moving on to the next step. Section 6. Decoding instructions, understanding the task. Once an instruction is fetched, it needs to be decoded. This means that the CPU needs to figure out what the instruction is telling it to do. The control unit is responsible for decoding the instructions and sending the appropriate signals to the other components. This step is crucial because if the CPU doesn't understand the instruction, it won't be able to execute it properly. Section 7. Executing instructions, getting the job done. After decoding the instruction, the CPU executes it. This is where the magic happens. The CPU performs the task specified by the instruction, whether it's adding numbers, moving data, or something else. This cycle of fetching, decoding, and executing instructions continues until the program is finished. It's like following the steps of a recipe. The CPU carefully executes each instruction to achieve the desired result. Section 8. Cache memory, a need for speed. Now, to speed up the whole process, CPUs have something called cache memory. This is a special type of memory that's much faster than the computer's main memory. The CPU stores frequently accessed data and instructions in the cache, so it doesn't have to waste time retrieving them from the main memory every time. Think of it like keeping your most used ingredients within arm's reach while cooking. It saves you from having to go to the pantry every few seconds. Section 9, wrapping up, CPUs are cool. So, there you have it. That's a basic overview of how a CPU works. It's a complex process, but hopefully, this explanation has made it a little easier to understand. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the amazing world of computers, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep on teching.